Launch your career in the travel, tourism, and hospitality industry right here in Annapolis and BWI region of Maryland. Find hundreds of hotels, restaurants, attractions, and more now hiring. Discover your next opportunity at the upcoming in-person hiring event on September 29th from 9 a.m. till 12 p.m. at the Crown Plaza in Annapolis. Hosted by Anne Arundel County Workforce Development. And visit Annapolis and Anne Arundel County. Register to attend today at applyannarundel.com.
Really, Riley? Really, Riley? Really, Riley?
Really, Riley?
Really, Riley?
Really, Riley? Are you ready?
This is the Really Riley Podcast.
Woo! Hello, beloveds. Dum, dum, da, dun. We are officially 8 days away from my wedding, and holy crap, I'm freaking out. Welcome back to Really Riley, my little corner of the world where I like to talk about all things that are going on in life. I like to keep it real. I like to keep it raw. I like to freak you guys out sometimes. I like to guys for you to laugh with me, cry with me, and maybe relate. So I have been in wedding mode for the last couple of months, buttoning everything up after, planning this wedding, replanning it because of the pandemic, and then I had a baby. So it's like it doesn't really feel all that real yet, even though it's 8 days away. But I'm trying to get in that groove, and I'm trying to be like, you know what, let's just enjoy the rest of this ride. So I wanted to share with you guys my fave 5 this week is bridal veils, because when I showed my seamstress my bridal veil and I told her how much I paid for it, she was like, $80? Are you serious? Because it's crazy to me when you go to a lot of bridal boutiques and for the thinnest layer of a fabric, tulle, or silk satin or whatever it is it's made of for like $350 for legit something you're going to wear for like 2 hours. And I know weddings are extra because I went extra on certain things, but I was very, very particular about the type of veil that I wanted, but I didn't want to pay $500 for it because I think that's ridiculous. So I put a little compilation of a couple of different veils that I thought you guys would like. And there's only one on here that is a little high for my budget, but if you have that budget and you want it, I say go for it. So first on the list, and any one of these could be my veil, but I'm not going to tell you which one. So it's Cassandra Silvestro Bridal. She's on Etsy. Etsy is your best friend. And side note, don't go with Etsy with just the first suggestion that pops up. Search a little bit, because I'm a firm believer in sometimes picking some shops that although they don't have the most followers, they don't have the most sales, but they still have really great product, and you look at the reviews and then you zone in on the pictures of the reviews. It helps, and it'll get you something cheap. And I don't mean cheaply made. I mean cheap as in price. So this first one is just a sheer drop veil. Now, what I mean by a drop veil is there's some veils that are a little bit crunchier in their tulle fabric, like a little starchier, which some brides like that. Like a little zhuzh at the top and a little bit of volume. This is for the very beautiful, Princess Kate wore a drop veil. The fabric just kind of lays. There's not a whole lot of zhuzhing and poofing to it, but the way it lays is so sheer and soft. It looks like it floats. Some of these drop veils sometimes can be so damn pricey, but this one has a blusher on it as well. Now, what I mean by that is sometimes the drop veils literally just drop on your head, and then you have to either sew the the veil, with pins, not sew it, but pin it to your head. That's the risk of it falling out. A lot of the drop veils don't come with combs. This one does, and it's a clear comb, and it's very, very subtle, because I myself love drop veils, but I wouldn't want one that is just barely tacked on there by a pin, because then you're going to walk down the aisle, it's going to be falling behind you. Ugh, God forbid, we can't be having any wardrobe malfunctions down the aisle now. And this one's only $110 for a cathedral veil. I have seen cathedral veils of the starkiest, itchiest tulle material for $300 with nothing added on them. Nothing. Etsy is your best friend. So another one on the list, you might look at me wonky. It's from JJ's House. Now, I know that JJ's House to some people is I don't want to order this online. It's going to come from some boo-boo shop. I thought the same thing about it at first, but I have ordered, not for wedding, but for proms, accessories, things like that, not proms, what am I saying? I'm talking about Jingle Ball, radio prom, it might as well be. And they actually weren't that bad. Now, I know you think, oh, my wedding veil? No, but this veil is if you want a little bit of dramaticism, you want to take a chance, and you don't want to spend $1,000 on your veil, because I'm not kidding, you will with this one. So it is a 1 tier, so there's no blusher on it, basically no piece that goes over your face. So if you don't want to pull your veil back, if you don't want that moment, this is a great one for you. It's got the lace applique on the edge. It's a cathedral, so a cathedral is like 120 inches. So cathedral basically meaning that it's going to go a little smidgen past your train, depending how long it is. So if you've got not just like a Princess Diana train, but a train that has a little bit of length to it, the cathedral is going to go a little bit further. So basically 120 inches from your head to the floor, wherever it lays. I should have gone through this before, but there's fingertip veil, meaning it's going to go just past your fingertips. So usually those kind of go underneath, like it would kind of make a U down to your button up and around, but it wouldn't have a lot of fluff in the front. Those don't usually have a blusher, but some do. There's also elbow length, where it literally just goes to your elbow. There's chapel, where it's got a little tiny bit of a tail behind it. This would be great if you wanted a dramatic veil, but you were just having like a sleek little sexy number that didn't have a train or had a very tiny train, like a sleek dress. Think, let's see, who had one of these as celebrities? JFK's son. His wife had one. Names are escaping me right now, but it's a very classic, simple, self-sassy type of cut for a veil. What other ones am I missing? I think that's it. Or at least those are the ones that I know. Anywho's, back to the list. So this next one, back to the lace applique edge cathedral veil. It's $33. I know you're looking at me sideways, but y'all, my bridal shower dress was $12 from Shein. Give it a chance. I'm also going to post all of these up on my blog at YMS Radio with the link so you guys can check it out. And they have returns. So if you have enough time, leave yourself enough time to order a veil. I'm talking 3 months at least, y'all. Don't do this at the last minute. Then you could order it, and if it sucks, you could return it. But hey, you could be very pleasantly surprised for $33. So this next one is one that I found off TikTok, but she's Tailored Tool on TikTok as well as Instagram. And she has an Ariana Grande inspired short veil. So this is the one that like barely hit her shoulders, and it was 2 tier, but I don't know if she pulled it over her face. And it was sort of like that bell, the very 1950s thing, and it just had a bow on the top. Super cute and classic. But this is, again, this is this Etsy artist marking up that it was Ariana Grande's veil. I think that her work is great, but it was $155 for this veil that's really only hitting your shoulders. And if that's the look you want and you don't want to search around, go for it. And her work's beautiful, but I think you could search a little bit more and leave off the Ariana Grande name in Etsy and find it for a lot cheaper. Just saying. So then last but never least on the list, or no, I have 2 more. My mind is literally like bridal meltdown mode. The next one is from Alex Bridal. This one I think is so, so beautiful. It's a pearl fingertip veil. So remember when I was talking about the veil that goes down to your hands, but it's got little pearls all over it. Now, I think this is great if you have a very simple dress. If you had a very simple satin dress, or just a very simple like Meghan Markle-esque type of dress that was needing a little zhuzh. Like you want the dress to sing and you want the dress to shine, but you want a little something, but you want that little something to be classy and not overly blinged up. And I hate that term, and I can't believe I just used it, but it's gorgeous. Now, this one doesn't have a blusher because I don't feel like you'd really want like pearls over your face while you're walking down the aisle, because you kind of want to see. But I think this one is one of those veils that will be like classic and yet modern all at the same time. And it's only $50, but that's with a fingertip. I'm sure you could probably order a cathedral one and maybe make it like $100. And last but never least, this is another pricey one on the list. It's from LT Couture LTA, and they're on Etsy as well. And it's the double trim horsehair veil. Handmade in the USA, which I love. So the double trim horsehair veil is a very thin veil, and it's usually got volume to it, almost like ripples, if you will. This is good for a dress. I feel like if you have some dimension to your skirt in your gown, or even, again, if you have something super simple. So what the horsehair, you think horsehair on a veil, is that literally like fur? Gross? No. So really it's a trim along the outer edge, and this one happens to be 3 inches. So it's very apparent. So just think of Very Tool veil as if they put a thicker layer on the bottom, not that it's thicker, that just gives it almost like a ribbon around the end, but not a ribbon. You guys can check it out in my Instagram. I may not be describing it very well, but this one comes in all different sizes, and this one just frames you beautifully in its movement. Because of the fact that it's got that double layer on the end, it's got more movement to it. It's not just going to fall on your face and just sit there and smush your eyelashes down. It's got a little bit of zhuzh. And, I mean, if this is your style for $278, you go for it, you bride. I'm a little stressed out, y'all. So I'm going to go. I'm going to eat my dinner with my fiance and take a hot bath. Love you guys so, so much. Next week, I will be taking off of the show from Wednesday to Wednesday for my wedding and my little mini moon. So this will be the last time I talk to you guys before I'm married. You guys, as always, thank you so, so much for listening. I hope you enjoy. It's really Riley.
What if you gave the best cut and color, but no one could find your salon online? With help from Cox Business Internet and Voice Solutions, you can do more than everyday tasks. You can share your style with the world. Visit coxbusiness.com for details.